Hi everyone. We are going to really briefly, hopefully, walk through the project sheet for project number 1, the digital literacy narrative. Generally speaking, what I'm asking of you is to tell me a story, as you can see up here, about your experiences and connections to language, reading, and writing, and composing, as it relates to the digital in the past, currently, or sort of a blend of the two. Basically, I'd like you to tell me how connected you feel to the digital as we sort of exist in this digital age of writing, composing, and communication. As I say here in the second paragraph, you may not feel very literate when it comes to the digital, and that's okay. That is something I expect might be the case across the board. Nonetheless, I think we've all had connections and experiences with the digital, whether they are moments where we felt we knew things, we felt like someone who existed in the digital and feels comfortable there, or whether we feel like someone who might not belong in that space. All of us have had our own forays and experiences into the digital. These things may include things that we have done, or they may include moments where our lack of digital literacy bumped up against someone else who had digital literacy that we can talk about. There are two ways that I think we can accomplish the goals of telling me a story. The first is a traditional textual product. I'll put that in the middle of the screen here. You can see this composing the project section. First is, I have it listed as a word count of 750 words. That's between 3 and 4 pages, double-spaced, depending on what you accomplish in this narrative. Both of these descriptions are the same. They're asking you to share your experience with language, reading, writing, speaking, and/or composing in the digital with me. This is autobiographical and nonfiction, so this is something that comes from your memory and personal experiences. You are the expert here, you are the evidence, and you are the storyteller. You are all of these things. Option 2, if you choose to go this route, is to do a non-traditional text that is multimodal in some way, shape, or form. I give examples here, video, podcast, song, etc. This can be something like a poster, a PowerPoint presentation, a painting, a drawing, a comic strip could be interesting. Also detailing your connection and relationship to digital modes and means of communication. Now, when I say digital means of communication, this can be anything, really. Some people in the past have chosen to talk about their connection to social media websites, the different ways that they communicate and compose in those spaces. Other people have talked about their connection to their majors, maybe relating to video production and specific work with crafting infographics or website design, things like this. Some people simply have talked about the fact that they utilize digital means of communication to, say, FaceTime their family in other countries. The digital providing them ways of communicating that they might not have had otherwise. There are a plethora of options that you can talk about your experience with the digital that I think you will find exciting and interesting to talk about. Do note here, I give you a few links for outside sources that have some interesting info on literacy narratives and just narrative writing in general. I would highly recommend you click on those because they can help you feel more comfortable with a form of composing that you may not be familiar with. In terms of submission criteria for this project, there just needs to be an electronic upload by midnight on Sunday, September 20th. Textual, like I said, 750 word minimum, or multimodal, a project that you upload, and then a 250 word rationale where you discuss why you chose to represent your media in this way. How did this form of presentation that you chose influence or change the text you created. This, like I said, 250 words is about a page, double-spaced. It can be around that length, it can be a little longer, but I'd like to see you considering why you made the decisions you made if you chose to go the multimodal route this time around. I've also provided you with some potential brainstorming questions and ideas down below. These are not required of you to be in your essay. Let me make that clear. I will not be going through your work, checking a box if you have all of these things in there. These are generative pre-writing tools that I think will help you generate ideas that are connected to the main goals of the project. Please do not think you have to answer all of these questions in your essay or your video. Simply, what I want you to do is to tell me a story about your connection to the digital through either an essay or some sort of multimodal, digital, or physical project. If there are any questions on this, please do not hesitate to ask me either in our physical meeting or via email or message on Canvas. Things will be changing rapidly in the next few weeks, I think, so just keep an eye out on this type of communication and others from me. Thank you all. I hope that this was clarifying.